Hey, it's Jade here, and today I'm here to talk to you about Facebook groups and why you should be using these in your marketing strategy. So, before I specifically talk about groups, I just want to talk about Facebook as an overall platform and why you should even be on Facebook. So, you've probably heard by now that it's the biggest social media platform. It's got 2.13 billion monthly users and over 1.4 billion daily active users, and that's constantly growing. It's got 1.15 billion daily mobile active users. So thinking about that, of those 1.4 billion that use it daily, 1.15 are on their phones daily on Facebook. So people are on Facebook all the time wherever they are. 5 new profiles are created on Facebook every second. And on average, the like and share buttons are viewed across almost 10 million websites daily, and 4.75 billion pieces of content are shared daily. And this was a 94% increase from August 2012 to May 2013. Now, obviously we're in 2018, so those were the most recent stats I could find from Facebook, but that means imagine how much more is being created even further on, 5 years on from then. Every 60 seconds on Facebook, you've got 510,000 comments being posted, 293,000 statuses being updated, and 136,000 photos uploaded, with the average time a person spends on Facebook per visit being 20 minutes. So if you just put that into perspective, if someone's coming on Facebook to upload a status, upload a photo, comment on a few things, that's only going to take them about 1 to 2 minutes. What are they going to be doing with the extra 15 to 18, 19 minutes that they've got? That's when they're generally going to be scrolling through their newsfeed and seeing what's out there and what's going to capture their attention and keep them interested for the rest of the time that they're on Facebook. So that's where your content comes in and becomes very important. And 42% of marketers actually report that Facebook is critical or important to their business. And I would definitely vouch for that. It has been an absolutely important part of growing my business. So now that we know about Facebook as a whole, why should you be using a Facebook group? Now, firstly, it gives you exclusivity. It gives you a way to build rapport and trust with your community, and you can provide value there. And the way it gives exclusivity is because you can set your group up to be closed or secret, meaning people have to request to join and you have to approve them. And only people that are in the group are going to see the content you share. So that's where people feel special and included, and it really, really provides a valuable relationship between you and your audience. Not only that, but say you're somebody that maybe you're still working in your job, or you just don't want your friends and family seeing what you're doing online. Having that closed Facebook group allows you to keep your business separate from your personal profile. So even though it's your personal page that will be posting in the group, your friends and family aren't going to see it unless they're actually in your group. And that was why when I first started online, having a group was really important to me, because I didn't want my friends and family, and I definitely didn't want my colleagues seeing that I was building this business on the side. Now I'm open about it, but at the start I really didn't want that being out there. So that's why a group is really a very, very good way of keeping your business and personal life separate on Facebook. But there's many, from a strategy point of view, there's many reasons why a group is going to really benefit you. So that's what I'm going to get into now. So groups definitely have higher engagement, mainly because a fan page relies on paid ads for your content to be seen. Your personal profile generally gets sent to the same people who are already engaging in your content. So if you've got other people following and becoming friends with you, they're not going to see your content unless they actually engage with it, because Facebook, the way the algorithms work, it sends content out to the people that you're already engaging with. So it's not based on the time you upload content. Whereas in a group, members actually get notified when you post, so your content is much more likely to be seen. It's also more personal. So if you think about a fan page, it's very professional, it's very brand orientated, and people might not actually want to interact with a brand. They want to react with a person, and they're more likely to want to interact with you when they know that it's a closed group and only the people in the group are going to see that. They know that you're a face behind that brand and they want to interact with you rather than having it all out in the public open forum on a brand page. You can really get focused in a group with being able to have a pinned post where you actually have very specific actions for people to take. You can have your description, you can have your cover photo, all that sort of stuff where you actually have call to actions right there. And you can also do as many posts with links as you want without any worry of them being banned or blocked like they would be on your profile or a page. Other things you can do in a group is you can create polls which provide instant feedback on what your members want. So it's a really fun way to get people to get involved and interact and give you feedback on any topic that you want to find out about. It's good because you have control over who joins and what content gets shared. You can't control who likes your fan page and interacts with your fan page unless you go through and monitor comments and likes. But with your group, they have to request to join, so only the people that you approve will actually get inside the group and see the content that's in there. And you can also set it up so that people can't do posts without your approval. So you have a lot of control in a group. You can also plan ahead by scheduling your posts. So with your personal profile, you have to be very active all the time because you can't plan ahead and you can't schedule. Whereas in a group, you can schedule and plan your content for months or weeks in advance. There's also a files section in a group where you can have useful content for your members to keep referring back to. And there's also a search function. So if your members want to find something that they've done before, or if you want to go back and find something, there's a search box where you can type a word that you remember and it'll bring you up all the posts that are relevant to that. So it's really user friendly for yourself and for the members of the group, which is why people appreciate it and accept that you're doing a great thing for them. And just some other useful info. So these are some stats that you should consider when you're thinking about your marketing strategy and why you should be on Facebook. So the biggest demographic of Facebook users is age 25 to 34, making up 29.7%. So if that's your age group, then you definitely want to be on Facebook. But I also did read that even though the older users don't make up the biggest demographic on Facebook, it's still the most used social platform for all the other age groups. So if no matter what age group you're in, you want to be considering being on Facebook because it is the biggest social platform where most people hang out. 76% of all the females population are on Facebook and 66% of the whole male population are on Facebook. So regardless what gender you're targeting, they're all going to be on Facebook. You want to be on Facebook. The highest traffic occurs midweek between 1 to 3 p.m. But a post at 7 p.m. will actually result in much higher clicks and engagement. So depending on what you want to be the result of what your content, if you just want people to come to your page, come to your profile, come to your group, then the most visitors are going to come during the day. But if you want people to actually take action, especially if you've got a call to action where you want them to click a link or do something that you're asking them to do, then they're more likely to respond and take action in the evening when they're relaxed, their workday's done, they're not rushing, they're going to have that time to sit there and actually do something. And 50% of 18 to 24-year-olds actually go on Facebook when they wake up. So if you're in front of them at that time when they're first waking up, you're going to be the first thing they see. You're going to be the first thing they're thinking about for that day. Imagine how powerful that would be. So that was some stats from one page. Now I'm just going to give some other stats. So 40% of users have never actually liked a Facebook page, and 39% of users only like or follow a page to receive a special offer. So that's just more stats to show why Facebook pages may not be the way to go and why groups are a better option. 19% of time that people spend on mobile devices is spent on Facebook. So 19% of the time that people have their phone in their hands, they're on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook in front of them at that time, you're going to be on their mind. And back to Facebook fan pages, organic reach for those pages is only 2% on average. So 98% of the reach on a fan page is paid ads. So unless you want to master paid ads, Facebook groups are definitely the way to go, especially when you're starting out and you might not have the ad budget or you might not have the results to want to do Facebook ads. Then a Facebook group is a really good way to build a relationship and get in front of your audience without having to put it all over your personal profile. Now, let's actually look at how you make a Facebook group. So, on Facebook, and mine might look a bit different to yours because I've used Newsfeed Eradicator, so I don't see my newsfeed on my computer. I just have a quote whenever I log on to Facebook, and that's just a time saver for me so I don't get stuck, because I use Facebook for my business. So when I'm on Facebook, I want to be working. I don't want to be scrolling through my newsfeed. I do that on my phone. Anyways, so when you want to create a group, you come to the top to the little arrow and you come to create group. And you want to give your group a name. Okay, I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to add anyone. So when you actually set up the group, you have different options. You can do public, closed, or secret. Now, secret, depending on the purpose of your group, if it's say like a team group where you want to be the one adding people to it, so you don't want people to be able to find it, then you can do a secret group. But if you want people to be able to find your group and request to join your group, then you need to do a closed group. So they can actually find it, but they're not going to see anything inside it until you've accepted them. Public I wouldn't do, because that just kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a group, because then anyone can see it, anyone can see the members, anyone can see the post, which means the whole exclusivity thing of being in the group is lost. So I wouldn't bother with public. So closed, and you can choose to pin it to your shortcuts. So if you'll see here, I've got all these shortcuts. That's so you can find the group easily. Now you go create. Damn. All right. I obviously don't want to add anyone because it's just an example. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of creating the group. I'm going to come here and show you my group and tell you what you can do from there. So once you've created your group, it will ask you to do a few things like add a person, and then it'll come and it will ask you to add a description, which you can see. So it will walk you through all this. It's a very easy process. So you'll see I've got my description here, which explains what the group is about. This is why it's really good as well, because you can have all your links here. So I've got my fan page, my blog, my Instagram, my YouTube. You can have tags, so when people are searching for certain tags, you'll show up in their list. You can have locations for people to search. So all these things that then when people are going in the discover section on Facebook, your group has the potential to show up to them. The other thing you can do is do a cover photo, and I make my photos in Canva, which you'll probably learn about in some training. But what I like to do is tell them to click for info, because some people will just see a picture and not do anything. But if you tell them to click on it, then they'll see your caption, and you can put a call to action in there as well. So I explain a little bit about who I am and what the group's about. And then I tell them if they want to learn more about my story, they can watch this video. And on that video, I have a link under it, which usually goes to whatever offer I'm promoting at the time. And then So you can have a pinned post, like I said. So in my pinned post, it tells people what to do. I've got a video welcoming them to the group. It tells them to check out the video. Then it tells them they can get to know me by watching the presentation. Then I like to have group rules so I can set up what people do in the group. So you can do that. And then usually whatever I'm promoting. So at the moment I'm promoting a book. So I've got that, which they can get. Usually I've got a free trial for whatever I'm promoting at the time, stuff like that. So every time somebody joins your group, what you can do, the way I manage my group is I do once a week, because what Facebook does is it actually keeps track of how many new members you have each week. So up here you'll see you have 4 new members. That's because I haven't accepted anybody. But what you can do is you can go write post, and it actually does a post tagging those members. So then what I do is I accept people once a week, and then I do a post welcoming them to the group and telling them to check out my pinned post, and it has a link to that. So every single person who ever joins my group is prompted to go look at this link. And see what the group is about and see what I'm about and what I'm promoting. So instantly, you're getting your offer in front of every single person that joins your group. But you're doing it in a way that makes them feel welcome, because I tell them to tell me a bit about themselves and they all comment on the post. So it's a way to really interact with them and get to know them. The other thing you can do is when people join your group, you can send them a message saying, thanks for joining my group, check out my pin post, what brought you to the group, stuff like that. But the other thing you can do, what I'll do is I'll show you some things you can set up. So once your group's set up, you can come into manage group. What you would want to do, sorry, it's probably group settings. Some things you want to do, this is what you'll be shown when you set up your group. So some things you're going to want to do, you can actually change the address. So when your group is first created, it's going to be a bunch of numbers, which means your URL is just going to be a random URL. What you want to do is change that. So you can change that here in the address, and that way you can give people a link with your exact group name rather than just a bunch of random numbers, which is really useful, because then if you're promoting your group in an email or in a Facebook post or on an Instagram post or something like that, it looks neat and nice, and you can just tell people, search for the group, the Adventurepreneurs Tribe, and if they search for it, it'll come up as well. They don't even need the full link, because they're just searching for the name. What you would want to do, because these default to anyone in the group, so membership approval, you want to set it to only admins and moderators. So that gives you full control. Only you as an admin are able to approve people who join the group. And posting permissions. I allow anyone in the group to post, but all group posts must be approved by an admin or a moderator. So I've ticked that box. So people can post, but nobody else in the group will actually see their post unless I approve it. And if their post doesn't meet my rules, then I don't even bother messaging them, because I've told them to check out the rules. If they haven't taken the time to do that, that's their fault. So the rules are that they can't post their own promotional content. So yeah, that's how you set up a group. And some other cool things to know is files, how I mentioned. So in here, I haven't really got many files, but what you can do is you can do like free resources and stuff like that, so that people that are in your group get really excited. You could keep track. I do more of this in my team groups, where I've got lots of free PDFs, tracking of all our team calls and stuff like that, so people can just come to the files section and easily find what they're looking for rather than having to scroll through all the group content. And I wanted to show you how to set up questions. Didn't see that on here. member request. Yeah. So when you come to member requests, what you can do is you can ask your pending members questions. So I've got my questions set up. You can set up to ask 3 questions. And then what you'll see is when people request to join, they don't have to answer them, but it will request that they answer them. So then when you read their answers, it gives you something to talk to them about. You can say, oh, I saw that you joined for this reason. That's really cool. And go straight into a conversation rather than having to waste 3 or 4 messages just on the hi, how are you, why did you join my group, get to know them. You already know about them because you've pre-planned for that. So that's a really cool, handy tool. And there was something else. And group insights. This is a really cool tool as well. So you don't get this on your profile. You have to spend so much more time talking to people, figuring stuff out yourself, whereas a group is very much geared towards people who are running a business and marketing. So your insights show you how many new members you've had, the types of engagement you're getting, and all that sort of stuff. So it's really, really cool. You can keep track of what's going on in your group. And this is how I mentioned you can do polls. So that's how you'd create a poll. So it's really awesome what you can do with groups. And you're probably in plenty of groups yourself without even realizing the value of them. You'll see I am in a lot of groups. Pretty much everything that you do online these days, they're going to add you to a group. So I've bought different courses. I've started being part of blogging groups, all of that sort of stuff. So if you buy a course, they're 99% of the time going to tell you to join their group, which is where they monitor extra training for you. They answer all your questions, keep track of how you're going with their course, that sort of stuff. There's just fun groups, like some really fun groups I'm part of, which have really helped me, is one in particular, which is Girls Love Travel. So this is a community just for girls that love to travel, and it's grown so much, but it's a really great community. So groups can have all different purposes, and if you can build your group into something that's massive like that, you've got so much potential. And your group is a lot, if you do your group right, like you'll notice inside my group, there's no mention of any particular business. This is my name and it's based around my brand, and I can promote whatever I want in here because I just provide value all the time. When you go through, my content is all value content. Every now and then I might do a post about my business, but I never mention specific companies. I never make it specific to the group, because think about it. If you made a group specific to one particular company and then a few months later you decided you wanted to do something else, or something happened to that company and you could no longer promote that, then you have to start again from scratch, and you either lose those followers or you have to move them all to another group, and they're gonna just lose. They could lose interest because you're constantly doing new things. Whereas in here, they never even know. I talk about my business, but in a way that they don't know the business until they actually come to me and ask me about it. So that's, if you can build a group that is branded to you and not to a specific business, that's the way to go. So yeah, that's all my tips on Facebook groups. If you want any ideas or have any other questions, feel free to add me and connect with me and send me a message. But that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this training, and I really look forward to seeing you all making your own Facebook groups. Thank you.